fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The train shuddered to a halt, spitting me onto the platform of Zha'thik station with a groan of metal and escaping steam. Stepping down, I was immediately swallowed by the salty sea air, a tangible weight against my skin. It wasn't just salt, though, it was complex. There was something else woven into the breeze, a metallic tang, like old blood dried on steel, and a cloying sweetness that hinted at decaying blossoms, jasmine perhaps, but tainted. The air tasted of secrets, of things long forgotten and best left undisturbed. It filled my lungs, a bracing, unsettling welcome that made my head spin slightly. I coughed, trying to clear the strange taste, and the scent seemed to cling to the back of my throat. Why did I even come here? Old man Tiber hadn't exactly sold me on Zha'thik. A city of shadows and whispers, he'd rasped, his eyes clouded with memory. A place where fortunes are made and souls are lost. He'd given me the map, a brittle thing smelling of parchment and dust, and a single cryptic instruction: find the serpent's eye. He hadn't elaborated. Old man Tiber rarely did, he just knew things. And I, Ilara Vane, detritan scholar and reluctant adventurer, was apparently the one to find this serpent's eye. An inexplicable pull tugged at me, not gentle but insistent, as if the tide itself wasn't merely approaching the shore but actively drawing me towards the city's heart. It wasn't a physical force, not exactly. More like a resonance, a vibration that hummed beneath my skin, centered somewhere around my sternum. It was unnerving. I glanced back at the train, a long, silver serpent coiling on the tracks, already beginning to hiss and release pressure. It felt wrong to linger. Like the city, did want me to consider turning back. The city loomed, its twisted amalgam of shimmering neon signs, advertising everything from dream-weaving services to spiced wines, and crumbling facades a testament to its chaotic, layered beauty. Buildings leaned against each other, as if sharing secrets, their stone surfaces etched with strange symbols I didn't recognize. Some looked ancient, predating even the oldest maps I'd studied, while others were clearly recent additions, slapped together with a careless disregard for aesthetics. Ancient dread clung to the stone, a palpable chill even under the midday sun. It wasn't the cold of the sea, it was something deeper, something older. I adjusted the strap of my satchel, the worn leather cool against my shoulder. It held everything I owned of value: a few books on forgotten lore, my father's compass, a handful of dried rations, and the small pouch of coins Tiber had given me, barely enough to keep me fed for a week. I hoped the serpent's eye was worth more than that. My boots clicked on the uneven cobblestones, a rhythmic tap-tap-tap that echoed strangely in the bustling crowd. The sound was strangely loud, almost jarring, and I felt the weight of the city's gaze upon me, a sense of wariness that made my skin prickle with unease. It wasn't hostile, not yet, but observant, like I was a specimen under glass. A merchant hawking strange, iridescent fruits bumped into me, muttering an apology in a language I didn't understand. The fruit smelled overwhelmingly sweet, almost sickly. I instinctively stepped back, brushing off my tunic. The crowd was a kaleidoscope of faces, humans of course, but also beings I'd only read about in dusty tomes. Scaled reptilians with golden eyes, slender sylphs with hair like spun moonlight, and hulking figures with skin like polished obsidian. Zha'thik was a melting pot, a crossroads of worlds, and I, a simple scholar from a quiet coastal town, felt utterly out of place. "Lost little bird," a voice drawled beside me. I turned to see a man leaning against a crumbling archway, watching me with amusement. He was tall, with dark, windswept hair and eyes the color of storm clouds. He wore a long coat of dark leather, adorned with silver buckles and intricate embroidery. A single silver earring glinted in his left ear. He wasn't handsome in a conventional way, but there was a raw, magnetic energy about him that drew my attention. "Just observing," I said, trying to sound more confident than I felt. My voice sounded small, swallowed by the city's noise. He chuckled, a low, rumbling sound. "Observing the chaos, a futile exercise, I assure you. Zha'thik doesn't like to be observed, it prefers to be experienced." He pushed himself off the archway and took a step closer, his gaze unwavering. "You're new here, aren't you? I can smell the innocence on you." I instinctively took a step back. "I'm looking for someone," I said, deciding to offer a carefully crafted half-truth. "Egg collector, old man Tiber." His eyes narrowed slightly. "Tiber, the old fool still peddling his trinkets. He hasn't been seen in the upper ward for weeks. Rumor has it he's taken ill." He paused, studying my face. "Or perhaps he sent someone else on a little errand." "An errand," I echoed, my heart beginning to pound. The serpent's eye, he said, the words barely a whisper. A rather coveted artifact, dangerous in the wrong hands. He reached out and gently touched my arm, his fingers surprisingly cool. You wouldn't happen to be looking for that, would you? I froze, my breath catching in my throat. How did he know? I don't know what you're talking about. He smiled, a slow, predatory curve of his lips. Don't lie to me, little bird. Zha'thik doesn't appreciate dishonesty, and I have a particular fondness for truth. He leaned closer, his voice dropping to a husky murmur. My name is Kalen, and I think we're going to have a very interesting conversation. The scent of spice and something wild, something untamed, emanated from him, filling my senses. I felt a strange mix of fear and fascination. This city, I realized, wasn't just going to test my knowledge. It was going to test everything I thought I knew about myself.